Breaking news right now. This is Local 6 at 10.
A prayer for Marshall County High School.
Almighty God, we come before you once again after another shooting. We are sad, God.
A shooter opens fire on students.
Students, in the building, please!
Killing 2 and injuring many others.
We ask you to receive into your loving care the souls of the persons killed, to strengthen the hands of the emergency responders.
5 shots fired, 4 down at the high school at Marshall.
There are so many questions tonight. Why?
As far as they know, it's one shooter.
Our community turns to God for comfort.
This we pray in his name.
20 people were injured during today's shooting. 16 of them suffered gunshot wounds. That's the new information tonight from Kentucky State Police.
Troopers say the victims ranged in age from 14 to 18 years old. 4 of them are at Vanderbilt Medical Center in Nashville. Prosecutors say they want to try the student accused in this tragedy as an adult. This is video of the shooting suspect leaving the Marshall County Jail earlier today. He is in the back seat of that Kentucky State Police cruiser.
Speak with Trent Levitt briefly this evening. He's the superintendent over the Marshall County School District. He was at the news conference this evening, although he did not say anything. It's of course been a very emotionally draining day today. He was on his way to Nashville this evening to visit, to be with the students who are injured, recovering, and their families there. He said it was going to be too hard for him to speak tonight about what happened at this high school today. Reporting live in Marshall County, Amanda Roberts, WPSD Local 6.
Amanda, thank you. A tragedy beyond words. That is how Marshall County Superintendent Trent Levitt did describe the scene earlier today. This is video, of course, showing students and parents comforting one another moments after the shooting. The superintendent says, as parents, our greatest fear is something happening to our children, and today that fear became a reality.
Our children are our future, our greatest gift, and our foremost priority. Hold your children close tonight as you gather together at vigils, churches, and homes, and please bear with us as we struggle to return to some sense of normalcy.
Lovett commended the courageous faculty and staff who he said were outstanding in response to the shooting. He also said he appreciates the quick action and dedication of those first responders. All Marshall County schools are closed tomorrow. 4 of the 20 shooting victims remain in critical condition tonight at Vanderbilt University Medical Center in Nashville.
Those parents had to put their child's lives in the hands of the trauma team at Vanderbilt. It's something the trauma team says can be hard for any parent. Well, today doctors described the scene as victims arrived and how their parents reacted.
As you might expect, they're traumatized in a way that only parents can be, and I think they're accepting of the situation and know that we're doing the best we can right now.
We have to cut our emotions off when we're trying to save somebody's life, but you can't hold that within yourself for a long period of time, and we've learned that we have to debrief and discuss this amongst ourselves because we too suffer from this, but our job is to keep people alive.
Of the 4 remaining at Vanderbilt, 3 are in critical but stable condition. 1 is in stable condition.
Students running for safety. This video captures the moments on school grounds earlier today. That response is actually something they were taught to do during an active shooter situation. Kentucky Governor Matt Bevin and law enforcement applauded their response today. Nearby businesses opened doors to students who needed a safe place.
Well, I heard some loud voices up in the office, and JC, my daughter, she gets here at 8 o'clock. This was a little bit before 8. And I come up, and there was a couple of students up here, and they was pretty tore up and just trying to get away from what was happening. So
several other local businesses say students ran into their stores for a safe place as well. Many students left their cars behind. Now, Kentucky State Police has been letting students come and get their cars as of 4 o'clock this afternoon. If they left their key in the school, the child or the parent need to bring a spare key because they will not be given access inside the school.
You know, today's tragedy doesn't get any easier to report on, and it certainly does not get any easier to accept for families in Marshall County. Many of you are leaning on each other and on your faith. Local 6's Blake Stevens joins us live tonight. So Blake, you went to a vigil tonight. What was the atmosphere like there?
Yeah, Jennifer, I had never seen anything like it. In this job, we see a lot of sad things, but I'm Blake Stevens, WPSD Local 6.
All right, Blake, thank you. There are some vigils set for tomorrow. If you want to know where you can come together with others to pray, just head to our web channel, WPSDLocal6.com.
This is how the city of Paris, Tennessee is honoring those in Marshall County tonight. The Eiffel Tower there glows with the Marshall County High School colors, orange and blue. This is a picture the city posted on its Facebook page. We've learned the lights will remain like this for the next several nights.
This is our region, and they're a big part of our community as well.
That's Paducah Mayor Brandy Harless expressing her support for families in Marshall County. She held a moment of silence at tonight's City Commission meeting. Paducah Police Chief Brandon Barnhill also talked about his department's response.
We immediately sent officers to all Paducah Independent Schools and to St. Mary's Schools as just a visible deterrence until we understood the severity of it, understood maybe who was involved and to what level. We also had multiple officers respond to Marshall County, to the high school, and provided security for the officers who are there.
And you will see an increased police presence at Paducah Tillman High School tomorrow, and that's from the Paducah Police. After a student reported a threat, officers say the student claimed someone took responsibility for that shooting at Marshall County High School and told her that she was next. Well, officers say they found the suspect in Mattoon, Illinois. The suspect had no connection to what happened today at Marshall. Police say the threat was directed at the student and not at the school.
Kentucky Governor Matt Bevin is reacting with this tweet. He was in Marshall County earlier today. The tweet reads, "The souls of Marshall County have been bruised and the fabric of the community has been torn, but the people of Benton, Kentucky and the surrounding communities are strong. With faith in God and with reliance on friends and family, we will get through this dark day together." Canada's Prime Minister says he's reached out to Bevin. Justin Trudeau tweeted, "Our hearts go out to Kentuckians and to all those affected by this tragedy." To get breaking news right to your phone, download the WPSD Local 6 News app and enable push alerts. The Vote America's Future. President Trump is in Cape Girardeau, Missouri tonight. He is rallying for Republican Senate candidate Josh Hawley. He's speaking right now. Let's listen in.
Named Claire McCaskill. She got lucky the last time. She was way down the last time, and somebody running. It didn't look too good. She got a little bit, she got a pass, let's put it that way. She got a pass. It was a sad thing that happened. That whole thing was a sad thing in many ways. Anyway, she got it. And now Josh is actually up slightly in the polls. Just came out. But she was going down. And then she said, "The Democrats are crazy." And I said, "That's genius for getting elected." I gave her credit for that. She's taking a lot of heat, but she'll patch it up over one lunch a day after.
Of course, he's talking about Claire McCaskill, who is the incumbent running for a third term. Hawley is challenging her. We do have several crews at that rally tonight. Follow their coverage on WPSDLocal6.com, also on Facebook. Todd, thank you. Local 6's Leah Shields is live outside the Show Me Center for us tonight. So, Leah, not everyone there is a Trump supporter, correct?
That's right, Jennifer. A crowd of students and community members were out here tonight. Some of them still here holding up signs like impeach and other things as well. There was a larger crowd. They've started to protest. Now over here, this is actually the designated area. They ended up having to move over to this area. Police said it was just to clear the room in front of the Show Me Center. Live in Cape Girardeau, Missouri, Leah Shields, WPSD Local 6.
All right, Leah, thank you. Several other protests were held around the SEMO campus. Republican Senate candidate Josh Hawley was in Jefferson City earlier today. He spoke with his supporters about McCaskill's stance on immigration issues.
Claire McCaskill has said that the border wall is embarrassing. She has voted against border funding. She has voted for sanctuary cities. She has voted for amnesty.
McCaskill attended a rally in St. Louis where she talked to supporters about the difference between herself and Hawley.
There are plenty of differences between me and Josh Hawley that you will be voting on tomorrow. There's a big difference on health care, right? There's a big difference on whether or not we should allow dark money in our politics.
McCaskill is seeking her third term in the Senate against Hawley.
We are tracking the results from today's elections. Your vote on America's future.
This midterm election will decide if Republicans keep their control of the U.S. House and Senate or lose the majority to Democrats. And we are starting to get a better idea of that tonight.
All right, let's bring you up to speed. Here's a look at the balance of power in Congress. Democrats need 23 seats to win control of the House and 17 in the Senate. Now, these were the Senate seats up for grabs in today's election. The states that are lightly shaded means the race is too close to call at the moment. You can see that in the Local 6 area, Tennessee elected a Republican. The Missouri race has not yet been called.
Let's go ahead and check in with one of the closest and most expensive Senate races in the country. In Tennessee, Republican Representative Marsha Blackburn faced former Tennessee Governor Phil Bredesen.
And let's look at the numbers, Jennifer. Marsha Blackburn well ahead of Phil Bredesen now with 56% of the vote, and that has actually been called for Marsha Blackburn, the Republican beating out the Democratic favorite there, Phil Bredesen. And she will succeed retiring Republican Senator Bob Corker. The former U.S. representative joked about her job title.
Now you don't have to worry if you're going to call me Congressman or Congresswoman or Congress Lady. Now, Senator will do.
Democratic candidate Julie Tennyson, final vote here, final call with 100% of precincts reporting. Danny Carroll, again the incumbent, walking away with 63% of the vote. All right, Local 6's Thomas Capps following both races for us.
He joins us live from Marshall County. So Thomas, what are the results looking like in those races?
Well, as you just said, for the state 2nd Senate District, things are looking really good for incumbent Danny Carroll with 100% of the precincts reporting. Danny Carroll has 62% of the vote compared to Julie Tennyson's 38% of the vote. We spoke earlier this evening with incumbent Danny Carroll, and he says that overall he feels humbled to be heading back to Frankfort for a second term.
I'm just honored to serve the last 4 years, and we were prepared either way, and we worked really hard through this, had a lot of support.
And in the House 6 race, as you mentioned earlier, Chris Freeland, the Republican, winning in that race. Linda Story Edwards calling him earlier in the evening to concede with 64% of the vote compared to Edwards' 36%. Freeland says that overall he's ready to head to Frankfort and represent his district at the state's capital.
Really, it hasn't sunk in yet, to be honest with you, and it's something I've said from the beginning, and working in local broadcasting, you kind of learn how to serve the community, and that's just what I want to do.
So again, for the 2nd state Senate race, Danny Carroll heading back for a second term, and for the 6th House race, Chris Freeland heading to Frankfort to represent the 6th district. Reporting live in Marshall County, Thomas Capps, WPSD, Local 6.
Thomas, thank you. The District 6 State House seat is currently held by Will Coursey, who ran for Marshall County Judge Executive.
We know now details of a contract that'll bring food services to the Paducah Convention Center.
And the deadliest drug in America, the new report from the CDC and how it impacts our area.
And rain moves in tonight. I'll track it hour by hour. 10 at 10 starts right now.
WPSD Local 6, your breaking news and weather authority. This is Local 6 at 10.
The deadliest drug in America. That's what the CDC labels fentanyl in a report released today.
The Kentucky Justice and Public Safety Cabinet says in 2017, there were more than 1,500 deaths in Kentucky from drug overdoses. And some of those deaths happened right in our own backyard. Local 6's Bryce Mansfield is digging deeper into this story for us. So, Bryce, why is fentanyl now the deadliest drug in the U.S.?
Jennifer, more than 16,000 unintentional deaths happened from fentanyl across our nation in just 1 year. Fentanyl is a synthetic opioid pain reliever used to treat severe pain in cancer patients. The CDC says it's 50 to 100 times more potent than morphine, which is why pharmacists say it is highly effective when used correctly. The flip side of that, because of its potency, it makes it more appealing to heroin and meth users. In Jefferson County, there were about 274 fentanyl-related deaths just in 2017. While it has not hit our area as hard, the people I spoke with today tell me our region is no exception.
It was starting to shut down my central nervous system, and I was unconscious, but I wasn't.
And now, the deadliest. In Paducah, Bryce Mansfield, WPSD, Local 6.
To read the government's full report, go to WPSDLocal6.com and click on this story. We've also learned the McCracken County Sheriff's Office needs your help finding this man. 42-year-old Billy Burkeen is wanted on charges of trafficking fentanyl in our area. His last known location was IC Avenue in Reedland. If you see him or have any information, call the McCracken County Sheriff's Office.
New at 10, a local county clerk has died less than 2 weeks after taking office. Saline County Clerk Roger Craig died this morning. The 57-year-old was a trustee and a clerk for Harrisburg Township before winning the countywide race. Memorial services will be held Saturday at Reed Funeral Chapel in Harrisburg.
We now know the details of a contract that'll bring food services to this popular venue. The Paducah Convention Center Board approved the deal last week with VenueWorks as the new manager of the center. Here are some contract highlights. VenueWorks will supply food and beverages for the facility, and the Convention Center Board will pay VenueWorks a monthly base fee of $8,000, as well as a percentage from food sales and revenue. Also, current Convention Center employees will be given a 90-day evaluation period for the potential to be hired permanently by VenueWorks. The contract does say that either party can terminate the deal at any time. VenueWorks is set to take over management of the Convention Center on February 4th.
Allow teachers to carry concealed guns on campus, install intercom systems in classrooms, and keep all classroom doors locked. These are some of the recommendations by a panel investigating February's school shooting in Florida that killed 17. The panel must submit its initial report to Florida's governor and state lawmakers by January 1st. Now, the panel highlights some of the problems it says allowed the tragedy. Those include unlocked gates, inadequate security system, and a former school resource officer who failed his duties.
And Todd, a case will move forward against that former school resource officer mentioned in the report. Today, a judge in Florida rejected Scott Peterson's request to dismiss a lawsuit against him. A father who lost his daughter in the school shooting sued Peterson. The father argued Peterson neglected his duty to protect his daughter and the other victims the day of the shooting.
Now, Local 6, your breaking news and weather authority. This is Local 6 at 10.
William G. Fleming Jr., Larry D. Hosford, Everett Reap.
If you are a member of a Gold Star family, would you rise so that we can recognize you? Yeah, we can give them a standing ovation. Absolutely.
After cold open. You are taking a live look now at the wall that heals. You could see, despite the rain, despite the cold, despite the wind, there are still people out here now that are looking for the names of loved ones, for the names of friends, for the names of children, fathers, to see their names.
Today has been very emotional. It's been very powerful. It's been months in the making, but the wall is here. And earlier today, hundreds of people have been out here visiting the wall, visiting with one another, and just taking everything in and processing everything about what this wall behind us means. And it is cold, it is windy, it is raining, but the wall remains steady, strong, standing tall.
You can see it's actually just really beautiful right now, not only with that glow of the lights illuminating it, but even with the rain, it almost makes that granite shinier. It's really beautiful.
And there's still some people out here tonight, which is what we were told to expect, because this wall will remain open for 24 hours straight through most of Sunday. 2:30 is when they start to deconstruct the wall. But as you can see right here, people are out here this evening, and you're welcome to come out here 24 hours a day to visit. Now, veterans, families, and the friends, they gather today for the formal opening ceremony for the wall that heals.
Yeah, many of you watched that opening ceremony at home right along with us. That ceremony continued into the evening. Local 6's Bryce Mansfield was there watching it for us. Bryce, really a beautiful ceremony.
Jennifer, one of the most powerful portions of that ceremony was the reading of Vietnam veterans' names, those who lost their lives fighting for our country. Today I spoke with a Gold Star veteran, Vietnam veteran, who says he showed up here today in memory of his brother who never made it home. As hallelujah echoed throughout these stands,
You're still alive.
carrying his brother's name with him beyond the wall that heals. The opening ceremony started about 6 o'clock this evening. It lasted roughly an hour and a half. At this point, our community is really rallying around our veterans and doing what they can to show their support, ultimately going up to each and every one of them saying thank you for your service and your sacrifice. We'll be out here a little closer to the wall in just a bit, so we'll join back up with you all. But for now, we're going to toss it back to you.
Okay, Bryce, thank you. And hey, if you missed that ceremony, if you weren't able to watch it with us, if you weren't able to be here, or if you just want to watch it again, you can watch it in its entirety. Just head to our Facebook fan page, WPSD TV.
And we have some information that we want to share with you. You're invited to come out to the wall tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock. We're going to put that information up on the screen. There will be a wreath-laying ceremony here in Paducah's Carson Park.
And the Wall That Heals will stay open all night and through Sunday afternoon at 2:30. It is free and open to the public. Well, Vietnam veterans visiting the Wall That Heals are being recognized for their service. The Daughters of the American Revolution are giving certificates and pins to veterans who stop by Honor Hall.
And veterans say they appreciate that gesture because some of them did not receive a warm welcome when they returned home from the war. Bobby Brown served in the Navy during the Vietnam War. He remembers that time well.
We was advised even to go home not wearing your uniform. But why should I not wear my uniform? I fought for that uniform, you know. And you had different people thinking and everything, but they was pretty rough on us at times.
Well, any veteran who wishes to receive a certificate and a pin, they can visit Honor Hall. That is right here at Carson Park. It's just on the other side of this wall.
And for now, we will go back to the Local 6 studio for news of the day and a check of your forecast with Leah Shields.
All right, thanks, Todd and Jennifer. Doing such a great job out there.